Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 6.14. The chapter which we are related with is Interest and Bond Valuation, Managerial Finance by Gitman. Look, already 13 questions have been solved and we are up to a stage where we can find the value of bonds, especially present value of bond we have already calculated. While at calculation of uh, bond, we do have a point where we will decide which formula for bond valuation we will choose. For that purpose, we will see if cash flows are absolutely same or cash flows are different. This is the only category, this is the only way with which we can categorize our bond valuation into two parts. So for that purpose, we will see our question and we'll decide whether the cash flows are equal or cash flows are different. Cash flows are same or different. So Laura Drake wishes to estimate the value of an asset expected to provide cash flows. What does that mean? She is buying an asset and due to that asset she is getting some financial benefits. So these are inflows, cash inflow, and it means cash is coming in 3,000 per year. It's her income. At the end of year 1 to 4, she is earning 3,000, and at the end of fifth year she is earning 15,000. Research indicates that she must earn 10% on low risk assets, 15%, 20% according to risk. Determine what is the most Laura she should pay for the asset. It is classified as low risk, average risk, and high risk. These are actually required rate of returns. That means we have small r, we have our inflows, cash inflows 3,001 to 4 years. So why not we should write it so that we can remember it and it would be easy to put the formula. Please note it down. For all low, average and high risk, we are at the point where 4 cash flows are same and 1 cash flow is different. So obviously we will use individual formulas. And in one case, we do have 3 cases. In one case, we will use hybrid formula as well, where collective and individual formulas would be used. For that purpose, since question will get length if we will use for all 3, so only for third or second or one we will use hybrid formula. Otherwise, individual formulas would be used because of different cash flows. This we should write over here. Since cash flows are different, that's why we will use individual formula for calculation of value of asset. So here is our starting note, and now we are going to perform for A1 part, which is low risk. And at low risk, what we do have cash flows, and as you know that these are inflows where we have number of years as well. So after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we have 3,000 for 1 to 4. So 3,000 for first year and same 3,000 would be for next 3 years as well. But at fifth year, you are earning 15,000. So let's put 15,000 over here. So in this way, our statement is completed. Next, we are provided with required rate of return, and since we are going for low risk, required rate of return is 10%. Okay, so let's put 10% over here. For our formula, we need only two things, cash inflows and required rate of return. Let's put the formula. For that, obviously, we will use a proper way to write the formulas, for which we will use the tool. Why not we are getting that tool? We are not getting that tool. Where? Let's see it again. We will need to put an equation. This Excel irritates actually. Now it's not coming. Please be with me for a time being. We need to put that equation, and that equation is not coming over here. Let's do it once more. We need to insert equation, and for equation tools are, yes, we have got it. Thanks. Okay, over here we will be putting, we need to change the size as well. Let's see, I think 20 would enough. So cash flows would be at upper side 1, and on downside you will have 1 plus r and raised to power 1 for first installment. Let's make it as power. We'll have to format it. Look, without writing a proper formula, it would not be suitable for you to complete your questions. So it's better to write these formulas in proper format. So let's complete it. Obviously, when you will be writing it on your copy, you will have to do absolutely same. So guys, we have completed our formula. Now there will not be any need to write it again and again. Instead of that, we will pick it and we'll copy it. So how many cash flows we have? 5. For first, we have it, and for second, look, within a second we have got our second cash flow calculation. Over here you just need to put add, and we need to change its size as well. Okay, so since it's second cash flow, you will put it second, but we need to make it subscript. Let's go back and change the position of this. Should be subscript. Make it okay, and obviously you will change the power as well. So we have got our second formula. Now beside this we will use next, and for this you will change it to 3 instead of 1 plus r raised to power n. We have 3 raised to 3, and we will see the next formula. Up to which extent we will do this, it depends upon number of years, and since you have seen that Number of years are 5. So we will go and write it for those many number of years. Alright. So here you have an idea what we are going to do. Let's take the last one, and I am just looking as it can be copied. Okay, so take it and make it as fourth value. Finally, we are at the stage where we are writing for fifth cash flow. Just change its power as well. Fifth. Alright guys, we have everything completed. Formula is ready, and we are going to put values in this formula. For first, what we will do, we will post its value over here. First cash flow is 3000. Just put 3000 over here. Rate is mentioned over here 10%. 10 divided by 100, that means 0.1. Raised to power 1 would remain same. This is our first amount. Now we will be writing our second amount. Why this size changes, I am just surprised with it. Okay, so we have our second amount which would be present over here. Okay, write down add, and for next we do have cash flow as 3000. It would remain same, but the year would be changed as 2. Okay, so we have our second statement, and now you will be completing your third statement, and you will be writing it at here. 3000 would remain same. As you can see, your third cash flow is similar. We will just change our raised to power, and it would be third. Just change it. Alright, third statement is also completed. Let's take our fourth installment. As you can see, there was only first statement which was likely to be difficult to write, and now for next statement we only need to change the power, change it as 4. Okay, and the last statement is your fifth statement. You will have to be careful in writing all of these statements when you are writing it on your copy. So as you can see, everything is to be written carefully. For last, we just need to change our year. It's fifth year. And second change, look over here. For fifth, we have cash flow as 15,000. So just change it down, 15,000. Alright guys, so all statements we have completed. It's time to put it on calculator, but we will be posting them in two ways. How to put these amount on your calculator? This would be our first stage, and then we will actually put them on calculator. Why we are using these two different stages? Because in this way you will remember how we have posted. Okay, this is our first stage. You will open your bracket on your calculator, will write 3000 and then divide it again with starting bracket 1 plus zero point 0.1, that means 1.1, and then you will close your bracket. Here you will put your raised to power, that is 1, choose 1, and you will make it your raised to power, just choosing 1, and we are making it superscript. Okay, since these formulas are containing some mathematical values, that is why it takes extra time. You are just needed to be cool and calm. Okay, so it's time to go for next value. Again, we have to make first value manually, and remaining all values would be copied, and there will not be any extra time taken. So plus, this was I was saying. Now copy and just write down next. You will change your year only, and that would be second year raised to power. And I was expecting that this power could automatically be copied, but we have to make it in this way. Okay, raised to power completed. Then we will be writing again for the third value. For third value, that is making little trouble. Let's see if it can copy again. No. So we will have to use some help from Excel. Though this time is not meant to be taken, but we'll have to perform this function. Alright, this is not a good thing to do. This is your third value, put it third, and then your fourth value, 1, 2, 3, and this is your fourth, and here we have fifth. In fifth you have total installment as 15,000, and change the power as well, 5. So this would be the way to put it on your calculator. We need to make raised to power according to our requirement. I was supposing that we can copy it, but right now Excel is not copying it, so we'll have to make these powers manually. So right, little more time would be taken, but it's better to write in proper way. For super, we have made it as power, and then we need to make this 3 as well, the power. Look, writing the formula in proper way I am sharing with you is important, and these formulas requires proper alignment and proper written format, though extra time has been taken. Alright guys, so this way your formula has been completed. So what you will do, you will put it in your on your calculator. Let me write it into the proper place, and now you will put it on your calculator. So what we have done, 3000 divided by 1.1, and you are needed to put a bracket after it. So okay, instead of putting bracket over here, we will put it on our calculator. Let's start putting it. Start your bracket with 3000 divided by 1.1 raised to power 1, close your bracket, then add plus. One more bracket is needed. Put your bracket and then you will add. So guys, we have written first statement. For second statement, we do not need to write it again. Just put your second value and change its power as 2. For next, put value and change its power as 3. Similarly, you will go for fourth, and for final fifth statement, you will change two elements. First, you will change the power 5, and then the cash flow in fifth statement is 15,000. So put it right down over here. So please note it down. This is the way you will write it on your calculator. Same statement you will be writing. And here you have got your first answer, 18,823, and match it with it, 18,823. So first statement has been completed. For second, we do not need to take so much time. Instead of that, we will copy it. Average risk, this is your first answer. Let's mark it as it has been done. We need to distinguish it, highlighting it. First part has been completed. For second part, we do not need to write it again and again. Everything is already present. We will take all these headings present over here. We'll copy them, and for B part, you will be posting it over here. So it's a good thing it is a second part. For this, we have our number of years, that would be same. Your cash flows, that would also be same. Required rate of return would be changed from 10%. Let's see what our question is saying. Okay, it is stuck. So question is saying that average risk over here is 15%. So we will change our rate for second part. It would be 15%. Though everything we have already written, formulas would be same, cash flows would be same. The only thing which we would change is 15%. 15% mean 15 divided by 100, and you have 0.15. So instead of writing 0.1, we will change everything as 0.15. Please note it down how we are changing it. Instead of 10%, we are writing 15%. Nothing else we need to do. So just consider that first part had taken 15 minutes and second part has taken just 1 minute, with which you have changed everything. Cash flows would remain same. You have changed your rate from 10% to 15%. As you can see, for each cash flow formula, you have changed the value. Now here we would also be changing it. It would become 15%. On your calculator, this would be similar for all formulas. Okay, you would not be able to do this on your copy because Excel would not be present. And now finally, while putting it on calculator, we will change it. Instead of 10%, we will make it 15%. Again 15 for third, 15 for fourth, 15, and for fifth it is also 15%. So I'm going to click it to get the answer. You can take the screenshot over here, with which you will be able to remember how we have put it on our calculator. So second 16022. Let's get back and you can check the answer 16022. Our answer is also 16022. This was for medium risk, and that was changed due to required rate of return from 10% to 15%. Let's start our third part for high risk, and you will see that we are copying everything, and same would be posted for our next procedure. Let's get down, and over here you will paste, and this is our A third part, that is high risk. For that we will change our rate of return. For medium it was 15%. For high risk it is 22%. This is our third, and we will change its rate from 15 to 22%. And what will happen? For 22 we will calculate it as percent. 22 would be divided by 100. Instead of this 15, we will write 22. It means instead of 0.15, we will be writing it as 0.22. 22 divided by 100, 0.22. Come over here and please note it down. We will remove 15 and we'll write 22. And hopefully you will be well familiar with this. Look how we have calculated 0.22. 22 divided by 100, 0.22, and instead of 15% we have written 0.22. Look, 15 is removed, 0.22 is written. 0.15 was written as 15%, and instead of this 0.22 is being posted for all statements. So in this way your formula has been completed, and on calculator you will be writing the same. Removing 15%, write 22 as usual, 22. For third statement we are replacing 15% by 22%. Last cash flow 22%. So please note it down how we will put it on our calculator. That has also been changed. And finally we will change the statement of calculator as well. Instead of 15% we are going to put 22%. So working on Excel give you sometimes an extra help, and right now we have saved a lot of time of writing it again. So this was your last level of risk, that was high risk, 13030. Let's see what answer is given. 13030. In this way all parts of A, low risk, average risk, high risk, are completed. This was low risk. 18823 medium risk and high risk are completed. Now we will be proceeding to our B part. Suppose Laura is unable to assess the risk of asset. That means we in part A we have calculated the amount of the value of that asset, and here it is said unable, she is unable to assess the risk of the asset and wants to be certain she is making a good deal. On the basis of your finding part A, what is the most she should pay? So obviously when it's a matter of risk, you should be mentally prepared to pay the least amount, because you are competing with the risk. When it's risk, more amount means more loss would be possible. Less amount means you are taking less risk. So if it is a risk and you are option to pay 18,000, 16,000 and 13,000, and you do know that there is a risk in this investment, so what would be your decision, to pay more amount or less amount? So when you are putting a in amount in the risky business and you have option to pay 13,000 instead of 16 and 18, you obviously be choosing 13,000. For B part, here we will be writing a short answer, and where this, when it stucks, it does not a good feeling. Okay, let's go to the B part, and here we will give a statement. A short statement would be made when it's a risk to invest, she should choose the least amount to pay, and in that case least amount calculated is this 13030. The logic is very simple. You are just facing a risk. At the time of risk, nobody would want to put his or her amount in a risky business. If it is important to do that activity in presence of risk, so obviously you will choose the least amount to be paid out, so that in case if you are facing loss, the least amount should be lost. The very simple logic. Now we will see what C part is saying to us. Let's get back to the question, and here we have C part. All else being the same, that means your rates are same, your cash flows are same, what does, what effect does increasing risk have on the value of an asset? You can see at low risk value was 18,000, at average risk value was 16,000, at high risk the value was 13,000. In other words, as you are increasing your risk, the value of asset has been decreased. This is the simple thing we have learned. These are answers of value of assets. These are calculations of present value of an asset at low, average and high risk. And you have seen that at highest risk, your required rate of return was increased, due to which the value of asset has been decreased. This is our C part to put the answer, and what conclusion we have made. As risk is increasing, required rate of return is also increasing, by which value of asset has decreased. So this is the conclusion we have made, and we are going to arrange it over here, our conclusion. Let's make it visible. So what finally we have decided, if you are increasing your risk, your required rate of return is increasing, by which the value of asset would be decreased. And this was our requirement. Explain what effect does increasing risk. Risk was increased, value of asset has been decreased because your required rate of return was increasing. So our C part is also completed. Both were just theoretical portions, but we need to mark it as they are completed. Now we need to mark it as well. C part is also completed, and we do have our B part. It has also been completed. So three parts were required. The only time which we have taken was to understand these formulas. Just for the review, I am requesting you to please understand how to write it on your copy or on your paper. These formulas are very important. At start I was saying we can use hybrid formulas as well, and for any one calculation we can use it as well, but here I am offering you, your question has been ended, solution has been completed. If you want to end your lecture, you may end it up, but those students who wants to learn how to put hybrid formulas, that means if some of the cash flows are same, you can use collective formula, and the one which is different you can use the individual formula which has already been calculated. I will take a very short time to let you understand how to put these formulas, these how to calculate the value of an asset by using both individual and collective formula. For collective formula, as you know that CF would be divided by small r, and then you will start your bracket 1 minus 1 divided by 1 plus r, and then raised to power n would be taken. This is raised to power, and we are going to make it as power. Okay, let's select it and make it superscript to show it as our power. And why we have written this collective formula? Because as you know that first cash flow 3000, 3000, 3000, 3000. For similar sort of cash flows we can use this formula, and instead of writing, look, we have written 1 2 3 4 formulas. Instead of using 4 formula, you can put that amount once. Cash flow same 3000 was, and then you need to divide with r. R was 10%, 10 divided by 100 mean 0.1, and then you will open your bracket 1 as it is formula, again 1 divided by, open your bracket, 1 plus r. R was 10%, that means 10 divided by 100.1, so it would be 1.1, and then you have to put your raised to power. Since how many years? 1 2 3 4, so you will put raised to power as 4. Let's write down it again, and we are making it as its power. When you see delays, you should understand that this Excel is stuck and taking time. Let's make it as raised to power, so we will raise it little up, and this is the way you will be able to calculate the value of asset after 4 years. Please keep it in mind. 1 2 3 4 different formulas put, you have put, and different values you have put, Instead of that, when cash flows are same, you can put a single formula to calculate the value. Now let's start putting it on our calculator. First 3000 would be divided by 0.1, close your bracket, then you need to multiply, start your new bracket, 1 minus, again you will start your bracket, and then 1 divided by 1.1 raised to power 4, and close your brackets. So in this way all brackets are closed. So we have got value of 4 cash flows 9509, and at this what you will do, the last cash flow calculation, we are taking it as it is, choosing this as well, and now post it at here. So simple work, you will be able to assess now what we are going to do. So this was your first formula, and the value is also written. Let's put it over here, and finally the amount you have calculated would be presented over here. What you have done, 15,000 divided by 1.1, this is raised to power 5. So we have got our second amount. First amount which you have calculated is present over here, 9509, and second amount you have calculated over here, and it is taking little time, and this is 9313. Okay guys, so let's put it over here. The difference between this method and this method is only we have used individual formulas for it, while here hybrid formulas have been used where collective formula and individual formula have been used. Look, and finally we will add both. This is the value of asset after 4 years, and then you will add value of asset at the end of 5th year, add it up, and here you can see 18823 and 18823, same amounts are present over here. After which, let's change its font color. We need to make it, okay, let's choose it. Okay, the result we have seen is you can use individual formulas and you can use hybrid formulas as well. Please understand what we have done. We have calculated value of cash flows of first 4 inflows. We have calculated the value of first 4 inflows over here, and then 5th inflow was calculated separately. Why? Because amount for 5th cash flow was different and amount for first 4 inflows were same. So when your inflows are same, you can put this formula. So in this way your value of asset has been calculated. You have taken your answer, and we are marking it as it has been completed, just adding it, and we are going to change its font. Okay, so guys, what you have understood, please note it down and repeat it by yourself. This can be done for second medium risk or third risk, but you will perform it by yourself. I was just willing to let you know that you can use this method and this method as well. Over here, what is the difference? You have calculated individual values of all cash flows, and over here you have used the collective formula, with which if your cash flows are same you can use collective formula, but last statement was different. You have used individual formulas. So this is hybrid system where collective formula and individual formula was used, and this is a separate and simple method where you will always be using different or individual formulas for calculation of asset. So in this way guys, our question has been completed 6.14. Just for the review, we were having A part, answer was 18823, and this is your A part, answer was 18823. Then second part we have calculated 16022, 16022. For third part we have 13030. This is our third part, 13030. All answers are reviewed. For first answer, this was low risk. We have adopted two formulas where individual formulas were used and as well as hybrid formulas were used. I have explained it to you, so you can use it. Remaining B and C parts were theoretical and we have written their answer. This was answer for B part, answer for C part. All parts are completed, all answers are reviewed. Finally 6.14 is completed, and if you have, though solution is in front of you and all formulas are written, answers are matched, answers are reviewed, we have seen the question for 2-3 times, everything is completed, but still don't be shy. If you have any question which you have in your mind, no matter it is how simple or how complicated, you are open to share these questions to me through messages, text, or you can directly meet to ask your question. I'm 100% sure that I will be answering those questions instantly. Will get time. 6.14 is completed, and we will surely be meeting soon again for the solution of any other question in future. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm requesting you to please pray for me as well. And a humble special request to repeat this question for 4 to 5 times. 6.14 is completed. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you very much for your time. Allah Hafiz.